Welcome to downtown Boise, Idaho, and nearby Extra Mile Arena, ready for Mountain West Conference basketball. It's the 19th meeting all time as the UNLV Runner Rebels take on the Boise State Broncos. Hi everybody, I'm Trey Bender alongside Richie Schuler for this one. Glad you're with us. UNLV, a program that is on the rise. They're 3-0 in Mountain West Conference play under their first-year head coach, TJ Otzelberger. It's a tough test, though, here in Boise. A veteran squad led by a veteran coach in Leon Rice.
Oh, UNLV, they're red hot. They've won 4 straight games, all by double digits, and they're doing it with a grinded-out defensive style in the half court. Boise State, though, 5 seniors. They've won 4 of 5 games, and they're excellent at getting to the free throw line.
Well, we have a couple guys in the spotlight here that affect the game in a different way.
UNLV's Mbake Zhang might be the best defender in the Mountain West Conference. He's not just a great shot blocker with that length. He is a rim protector. He's able to stop players from getting into the paint and trying to score, alter shots, and always get a piece of the rebounds.
And Derrick Alston can score the basketball for the Broncos.
At 6'9", he's 190 pounds, and believe this, he's gained 40 pounds since he's been here since his freshman year. He's skilled, great feel for the game, an obvious preseason All-Mountain West Conference player, and a dynamic player at 20 points per game.
TJ Otzelberger, first season at the helm. Different formula for success. You see his South Dakota State head coaching experience when he was with the Jackrabbits, back-to-back Summit League championships. They were top 10 in the nation in points per game and went to the NCAAs a couple times. Doesn't have that kind of personnel on tap here in Las Vegas this year, but they have changed what they want to do, and a lot of that has been focused on defense. You see the numbers, how they've changed defensive or from an offensive standpoint, but they're successful in a different kind of way.
They've changed drastically, but he has to coach the players that he has now. He will recruit to the system he wants. He wants to be the true running Rebels, getting up and down and playing at a high pace, as he did a year ago at South Dakota State.
A guy that coached under some big names, Steve Prohm, Lorenzo Romar, Fred Hoiberg, and Greg McDermott on his way to the head coaching ranks and trying to put a stamp on this UNLV program. Expectations always high at UNLV. But they're 3-0 in the Mountain West with a December win at Fresno State, home wins over Utah State and Air Force, and you like the momentum they're building with some interesting pieces.
Yeah, I think that this team is growing. I think a lot of people didn't have the expectations for UNLV to be great this season. They finished, or they preseason picked 7th in the Mountain West Conference, and they have moved forward. They are 3-0 in the conference, and I think they have a solid shot of coming on the road and beating Boise State right here.
And here's one of the best veterans in the coaching business. 20 wins, 7 of the last 9 seasons for Leon Rice. 4 postseason trips, a couple NCAAs. He's number 2 all-time in school history in wins. Looking for win number 189 tonight. This is always a tough place to play, and a true road environment be a tough test for the Runner Rebels.
Boise State is a more talented team, and they like to play that more free-flowing, up-tempo style of play. Coach Leon Rice always has his team ready to go. So this is going to be a great battle. It's going to really be a battle who sets the tempo between these two teams.
Mbake Zhang against the big German Robin George as we get underway here, and UNLV controls the opening tip. Into the hands of Marvin Coleman.
Well, if UNLV had their way, this game would be in the 60s. A grinded-out, half-court style of game. That's how UNLV wants to play.
Here's Amari Hardy attacking the rim. Off the mark with that one. Justinian Jessup, who's more than just a scorer, a complete basketball player, the senior with the rebound. As you look at the 5 for the Broncos.
Well,
Ray J. Dennis getting a start.
That's right, at the point guard position instead of Marcus Dickinson, but they're going to have to play through the physicality. You see how physical UNLV has already played in this first possession. They've got to score through that physicality.
And going to the floor, both teams, and Hardy has it, and that's what they'd like to do. They'd like to muddy this game up a little bit, be scrappy, and win the game that way.
Well, they've started to win over the fans at UNLV in Vegas. So they get on the floor, diving for loose balls, taking charges, getting steals. Vegas wants to see that style of play.
There's a turnover. Coleman trying to spot Mbake Zhang on the baseline. We saw UNLV against K-State, you and I, way back at the start of the year, and they had a chance to win that in overtime. They've had a number of games that were close that they've dropped, that the record could be better than 8-8.
UNLV has lost 3 games in overtime, and then they won a double overtime game against conference foe at Fresno State.
Here's Derrick Alston from the outside. Misses on that one, and Nick Blair, the former walk-on, rips down the rebound. To the other former walk-on, Marvin Coleman.
That's what I love about this UNLV team. It's not about who got great playing time and who got buckets a year ago. Coach T.J. Altenberger is hitting the reset button in this program. Two guys that were walk-ons a year ago are now starters for the 3-0 Mountain West Conference running Rebels.
Shot clock is under 10. Hardy has it knocked away from Jessup with 4 to work with on that shot clock. Jessup, their best defender, as well as being so versatile and a three-point threat.
And it's difficult to ask a lot of that for such a great scorer to be also a great defender. Quick hitter here with only 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's Hardy. He'll have to launch one. Shot clock at 2. Antonio gets it away and banks it home. The Australian who's coming off an injury with the first bucket of the game.
I honestly don't think there's anybody else on the floor right now that could have got that ball off as quick as Jonah Antonio. Such an incredibly quick release. He caught that ball with 1 tick left and still got it up and in.
We will not likely see Marcus Dickinson in this one as Jessup has that shot altered into the hands of Coleman now. He's on a bike behind the bench, missed the start of shoot-around, and that meant the start of Ray J. Dennis, the point guard. We'll have to keep a close eye on that over there behind that Broncos bench. Hardy from the wing, got it. Great start for the Running Rebels.
They're going to grind you out in the half court. You can't leave Hardy open for three-point shots. He's 36% from behind the arc.
Into the corner, Dennis, the freshman from Oswego, Illinois. And that's into the backcourt and a turnover, and the intensity from UNLV has shown up early.
And right, that's an unforced turnover, but when a team like UNLV is up in your face, they're in your grill, TOBP, tremendous on-ball pressure, they make you a bit nervous. And that right there, I think, was just a bit nervous, some nerves there, threw it over the head of their teammate. And that's 2 turnovers now that could have been avoided for Boise State.
During the shoot-around, Richie, Coach Otzelberger talked about being physical with their defense, getting into the chest of players, and they've had that mindset here early on.
Well, UNLV, scoring doesn't come easy to them, so they have to make their defense set the tone for their offense.
Working that shot clock again under 10. Here's a 3 from Antonio, short. Dennis trying to track down the loose ball, and the Broncos have it. Oh, for their first 3 from the field, looking for their first bucket here with George. Key jab, baseline shot, short, but the foul called on Antonio.
A lot of action on that possession. They threw the ball down inside to George, who had his back to the basket. There was a little screen away and a perimeter rotation. You see it right here. Look, see the screen away by Dennis. And Key-Jab gets the ball, and then the person who posted up, George, sets the ball screen for Key-Jab, and he's able to make that or shoot that little shot from the baseline.
Tremendous athlete, the Oregon transfer, 1.5 seasons with the Ducks. His first game was December 22nd, and all he did was score 17 against Georgia Tech. Came out hot out of the gate, and he just gives him a different dimension out there with his versatility.
He couldn't have come at a better time. Right before conference play, 6 games, 15 points, almost 5 boards a game, shooting the ball well, drives it, slasher. And I think that Key-Jab tends to play a little bit better when he's able to not think the game. When you think, you kind of lose your athleticism. When he's just out there balling out playing and things are kept simple for him, he's very effective on the floor.
Bryce Hamilton's on the floor, the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week, and there's a good dish to Mbake Zhang. Coleman with the delivery. Alston cut off on the baseline. Spins. Muscles his way in. They're going to get Blair there with the contact underneath the rim.
Well, you're seeing Jong affect the game on both sides of the floor. He's altering shots on one end. On the other end, great pass by Coleman to just dish it down inside. Very easy for him to catch and shoot, but that's predicated by Coleman getting the defense to track to him so he's wide open for the dunk. And I like right there, Alston is just, he's physical down inside. He's thin. He's like 190 pounds, but he's active, he's aggressive, and he's hunting his shot.
Boy, and has he worked on his physique. He was 148 when he came to town. Now they list him at 188, and now we see R.J. Williams, the leading rebounder, coming in. He replaces George.
Well, R.J. Williams coming off the bench. He's over 60% from the field, but 8 boards a game to go along with 12 points a game. How about that for a 6-man off the bench?
Alston, an excellent free throw shooter, cans a couple. He's at 84% this year, second in the Mountain West. 7-4 game here, 4 minutes in. Good hands from Alston there. That's off with Coleman. He forces a turnover.
Alston bringing the defensive intensity.
UNLV off to a quick start. Still no field goals for Leon Rice's bunch. 3-point game early going. TJ Otzelberger getting his club to come out composed, focused, a lot of energy. They've hit 3 of their first 5 from the field.
Usually a team feels good when they start playing excellent defense. Usually their offense follows, and UNLV shooting the basketball well, 3 of 5. But hey, Boise State's got 1 more rebound than UNLV, and that's going to be a big battle here. UNLV has some big athletes, but Boise State is going to have a challenge, I think, with their rebounding battles.
See if R.J. Williams can give him a spark. He has been a great energy guy, the senior from Los Angeles, playing that post position right now. Alston into the corner. Ray J. Dennis in and out on the 3. And the weak side rebound pulled down by Blair. Here's the start in conference play with win over Fresno State, Utah State, and Air Force. Hardy for 3. Buries it. How about Amari Hardy? He's had some big games this year, including that career-high 27 against K-State.
And he's hit 3-pointers from both wings right now. If I'm Boise State, I'm sticking on him like glue.
Couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Runner Rebels here on the road. Here's Alston on the baseline cutoff. Kejab's going to try the 3. Got it. There's the answer. They hit their first field goal, a 3-pointer.
It's an excellent shot, too. Nick Blair had a hand right in his face. Blair couldn't have done any better job contesting that 3-point shot. But, hey, big-time players make big-time plays. See, when Jong's out on the perimeter setting ball screens or making passes, it's a 5-around-0 offense.
How about that step-back jumper? Hardy can't get it to go. Created a good look for himself. Rebound for Williams.
See Boise State really trying to push the basketball. UNLV so disciplined in their transition defense.
Coach Rice mentioning, I want to see more assists. I want to see us moving the ball more like we have in years past. Williams, spin move. Oh, that's a beauty.
I like the off-the-ball movement that Boise State employs when they throw the ball down inside the low post. From the wing, they throw the ball down the low post, and they set a screen for whoever's at the top of the key or at the nearest elbow.
And there's a travel on the big 7-footer, Mbake Zhang taking steps, and they give it up.
We'll see just these last couple possessions. You see Boise State making this a faster-paced game. Pressure on the defensive end. Watch Jessup go set the screen right at the elbow, and it sets all that movement, takes away the help side defense, and it becomes a one-on-one game from there on out.
And he gets it there, forget about it. He's the Mountain West leader in field goal percentage after that bucket. 10-9 game. Jessup, the weave with Alston out high. Against Blair, steps up and through, can't get it to go. Donnie Tillman's on the floor right now for the Runner Rebels, and Coleman will attack, and he gets the N1.
Gotta love to see that. Walk on a year ago, this year's starter, playing a lot of point guard minutes, not shooting the ball well from the outside this season, but he's able to beat his defender one-on-one and go all the way to the basket. N1, foul on Alex Hobbs.
Coleman, scholarship prior to this season, team first attitude, just wants to win, and that's really contagious. And he's not going to impress you with his flair, but does a lot of things that this coach is very impressed with.
Well, TJ Otzelberger has raved about him. He's a local product. He's from Las Vegas. Was a track and field athlete as a sprinter and jumper in high school. Had a really good senior year, about 17 points a game to go along with 6 assists. So he's no slouch, but he was not a scholarship player until as of late.
Now, how about that 6'10" and 6 line against Air Force? Pretty impressive. On the move, Hobbs. They did not stop the ball, and he takes it right to the rim.
And that should never happen. And that's what happens when you get a full head of steam and you're able to beat one man off the dribble. If nobody steps up to help, and there should have been 2 players there for UNLV that stopped him from getting to the basket, you got a free lane.
Tillman thought about it. Now Antonio step back jumper, short. And a foul inside. It's going to be on Williams coming over the back. Good position in there for Vitaly Shibil, the Ukrainian. And TJ Otzelberger is going to go to his bench here. He'll bring in Jay Green, an Australian sophomore, and a break for Bryce Hamilton. Tillman against Kejab. A couple former Pac-12 guys going at it there. Antonio missing badly. And the tie-up. And the possession arrow will point the other way.
And really, that's kind of a break for UNLV because the next jump ball goes to them, where without that jump ball right there, it was going to be Broncos basketball anyway.
Run Rebels have hit 5 of their first 10 from the field, led by Hardy's 6 points. He's hit a couple threes in this one. And they've come with the energy you need in a road environment here. TJ Otzelberger has to be pleased so far.
They like this weave action around the perimeter. They get the ball to Austin and let him go to work.
Out of control there, though, and turns it over. Here's Green the other way. Antonio, probably their best pure outside shooter on the floor right now. You got to keep an eye on him. He's left alone, takes the 3 and misses on it. And Alston has it for Boise State.
The last 3 possessions for UNLV, Joni Antonio's taking a 3-point shot, just not dropping for him.
Hobbs, good dish to Williams, and a free throw coming.
That's an incredible pass by Hobbs to Williams to get around the defenders to make the bounce pass. See it right here. Alston passes over to Hobbs. He goes from one side of the floor to the other. Nice dump. 2 defenders were drawn in the and 1 for Williams.
All even at 13. The Broncos have hit 4 of their last 5 from the field, including a 3 from a guy in Abu Kejab, who really gives them a lot of ability to guard. He's very vocal and has some range. Look at what this guy did in his debut, and then the home debut against Cal State Northridge.
That's always good when you can add a Pac-12 player to your roster, and we see how good he has been for this Broncos team. And you can see right there what Coach Leon Rice said about him. They want to have a Christmas gift in Kejab.
From St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, 4-star ESPN recruit. He is the number 2 rated recruit in the history of Boise State basketball, behind a guy that made a pretty big statement in Chandler Hutchison.
Boy, is Chandler Hutchison doing okay in the NBA or what? When the Chicago Bulls picked him, I think, was it 20-something? They knew exactly what they were going for. Number 22 in the draft. They knew exactly what they wanted. I believe, what I understand, they had told him long before, when it's our turn, if you're still there, we're taking you.
Here's Hamilton spinning. Tough shot, and he gets it to go over Jessup. This guy's really coming into his own. Sophomore from Pasadena. He played in 1 game last year, and he's coming off Mountain West Player of the Week honors. He has really blossomed. Kejab cut off. Alston has that size advantage at 6'9". Williams, 5 on the clock against Mbake Jean. The southpaw goes to work and banks it home.
Wow. I mean, John did such a good job of keeping him so far away from the post when he caught the ball. But man, he just backed his way in and he challenged the shot blocker.
Now the 7-footer goes to work, and how about the defense from Williams? It will stay with UNLV. That's a 7-footer backing down a 6'7" Kai, and he's standing toe-to-toe with him.
Look at this right here. I mean, he caught it 17 feet away from the basket. He took it right to Zhang, and then on the other end of the floor, Zhang tried to take it to him, and Williams made a great defensive play.
Hamilton going to work again in the lane. Off with that one. Alston the rebound, and he's fouled. Hamilton and Tillman coming over. They're going to get Hamilton here for the personal.
See, you're seeing some changing defenses now. UNLV is going to bring a fresh body into with Hardy, and they're going to pick up full court here on the dead ball. And what this does is, yeah, it's going to wear down the guards a little bit, but it's going to take time off the shot clock. And this plays into the hands of what UNLV wants to do. They want to make it a grinded-out half-court game, use some of this clock, and limit the number of possessions in the game.
Alex Hobbs, who can handle the point. He has been a starter and a backup in his career. Great pass there from the senior on the money. And key jab cashes in. They've hit their last 4 from the field. Now 55% shooting in the first half for Boise State as we near the 10-minute mark. Blair with the left hand.
Yes. Let's go. That's good. That's why you have to learn how to play with both hands. Be ambidextrous as a basketball player. Be able to make shots around the basket with either hand. Times like that where the right hand's cut off and he's got a left-hand opportunity.
Jessup has been quiet. He's going to launch from the outside. Cannot connect. He was looking for the school record for career threes. Off the mark with that one. Quick start from UNLV. Boise State has answered. Now the Runner Rebels go to work inside. Zhang missing on the hook.
Here come the Broncos. They're going to push it here. See the UNLV players, their hands are out, they're taking up space, they're using their wingspans.
Alston, wild shot in traffic, barely drew iron with that one. Yeah, mix of man and zone from both teams, but the physical nature has benefited UNLV in this one. They've gone toe-to-toe here. They've been scrappy as they have been throughout the course of this Mountain West season.
If you mix up your defenses, you make the other team think.
A great play there. Speaking of defense, how about that one by R.J. Williams?
Kick it corner.
Hobbs straight away. Back iron. Runner Rebels running. And in the open floor, Hamilton is fouled. UNLV, not the UNLV teams of yesteryear that would get out and go, but they'll seek their opportunities from time to time. And that's eventually where TJ Otzelberger wants to be when he brings in his guys.
Well, yeah, you know, the previous head coach, Marvin Menzies, I thought did a fine job. And, you know, last year had a lot of freshmen, sophomores, but they were very much more inside out, a slower pace of play. TJ Otzelberger comes in. He wants to get back to the traditional Running the Rebels style, getting up and down, scoring within 3 seconds.
Hardy, an air ball that time. Missing badly after connecting on a couple triples. Here's Alston. Spin move and the finger roll. What a beauty.
Well, we've seen a number of players now go at Zhang, not be intimidated by his shot blocking ability, and score the basketball now.
That's his first field goal. He has 4 points.
Nice backdoor, bad pass.
Marcus Dickinson is now on the floor. We saw him on the bike. He is on the floor along with Max Rice, who has the ball right now, the redshirt freshman, the son of the coach. Here's Alston on the drive. Count the bucket and the foul. There's the Mountain West leading scorer, and he's starting to dictate some things out there right now.
This is why a lot of people say Derrick Alston's an NBA prospect. Look at this play. Rice, and then cuts the corner, goes middle. Bad things happen for the defense when the offense can drive in the middle of the paint.
Leon Rice's team getting 7 points from R.J. Williams, 7 from Key Jab here in the first half, and 2 minutes and 12 seconds without points now for UNLV, and Broncos have their biggest lead now at 5.
Yeah, they got 3 guys that have scored 20 of those 22 points, and not only that, they've forced UNLV into 5 turnovers, and so they're able to score on the other end of that. So I think really what we're seeing here is Boise State has dictated the tempo. They've controlled it. They're playing up-tempo like they want to. They're winning the rebounding battle, and they're not allowing Boise State to play the half-court grinded-out style that they want to play in this contest. You have to play against the physicality of UNLV. They play tough on the defensive end. They're physical inside, and Boise State's beating it right now.
That was Alston's 83rd made free throw this year. He's number 1 in the Mountain West in that category. Here's a foul on the floor. 3 team fouls now on Boise State. They get Max Rice picking up his first personal. Hamilton against George, runs him over. That's one of George's specialties, taking charges. He is a guy that has played in 80 career games, does the little things well, and when you're 6'11", 245, a little bit easier to take a charge.
Take a peek at him. See right there, I think it's a good call. Bryce Hamilton lowered the shoulder. It might not have been as much contact as George made it seem like, but there was a lower of the shoulder. When that happens, take the charge.
Improved player, maybe the most improved from last year. Redshirt last year and the year before only averaged 1 point per game. And Rice going deep into his bench with a few players here getting some minutes. Dickinson is going to try a 3. And the rebound pulled down by Hamilton. UNLV has gone cold here. They're in a drought over 3 minutes. And there's the answer. They go to Hamilton, and they're within 4.
Good passing, nice skip pass. Look at the extra pass and 1.
Rice long with that one. Had a good look at it from the left wing. And George going to the floor, comes up empty. Schiebel for 3, misses badly.
Schiebel, such a good shooter when he was at Arizona State for 3 years. He has really struggled this season. 3 of 15 from behind the arc.
Coleman's going to pick up a foul here. This UNLV team just 32% from beyond the arc. You get a good look like that, though. Yeah. You know, that's a shot you'd like to knock down. And Coach Otzelberger, I'm sure, not too upset with the shot, not the end result there.
Schiebel was brought to UNLV via Arizona State for 3 years to have a strong frame. He's 6'9", that can step out and knock down threes. He has just struggled to knock down those threes. Talk about knocking down shots. Boise State 6th in the nation in free throw attempts. How many free throws have they shot today?
Well, that's the first miss for Alston. He's 3 for 4, and they're now 6 for 7 in this one.
That's great. I mean, they really get to the foul line.
UNLV just 1 of 6 from distance in this one as we hit the 6-minute mark.
And one missing ingredient for UNLV right now is back to the basket post play. I'm not sure how many back to the basket post touches, if any, they've gotten in this game.
Hamilton for 3. Alston the rebound. And they have gone cold here. Still down just 4, and there is Alston fouled by Schiebel as he makes his move toward the painted area.
When you can have some balance on the floor, yes, they're getting some good outside looks. Yes, they're driving the floor. Yes, UNLV is getting to the free throw line a little bit, not much, but they're really not getting any back to the basket post touches to try to balance the floor. You become easy to guard when everything is perimeter oriented. Stop the ball from driving from the perimeter. Stop the three-point shots from taking place, or at least contest them. But when there's no back to the basket post play, it makes it very difficult to score buckets for UNLV.
George and Jessup get a breather here. And Boise State finally gets a score. They had a 2-minute, 6-second drought prior to that Alston free throw. How about Jessup? No points here in the first half. And the other guys have stepped up. The average is over 15 per game.
That's Derrick Alston here. Right? First Boise State player ever to score 20 or more points in the first 4 games of a season. I mean, he set the tone immediately. Big part of the reason he averages 20 now.
And he has 10 20-point games this year. 6-point lead. Mbake Zhang back to the basket, has the size advantage against Williams. That's into the backcourt. And it's the Broncos basketball.
Well, I'm glad they got the ball down inside there. Zhang usually is able to make a play down inside the paint. I've seen him be a better passer than what he just showed right there, but love the intensity of that kid. I mean, he gets after it on the defensive end. He works. He's improved from the beginning of the season till now, and he's a big part of this team.
7 UNLV turnovers here in the first half. Dennis, who got the start, over to Rice. Little hesitation, and the block by Zhang.
See,
you bring it in there, he's one of the best in the conference in that category.
And that's what he does. And see, now that he has that block shot, and it's a help side block. This is why it's your insurance policy now. You beat one defender, you got your secondary defender there to help. And Zhang, now guys will start to think twice before they go down inside the paint now because they don't want their shot blocked.
Broncos are going to call a timeout. Shot block number 22 from Mbake Zhang, the junior, who is their leader in rebounds, block shots, and field goal percentage. And the quick start was beneficial for UNLV, but Boise State has gained some momentum here midway and late first half.
Yeah, I agree. And that, by the way, that's Zhang's third block shot now, so expect to see. I'm curious if Boise State's going to keep going at him or if they're going to start slowing it back down a little bit.
How about R.J. Williams, undersized at 6'7"?
He's a matchup nightmare for everybody. I mean, he's learning the 5-man position. He's having to bang down inside low. He used to be more of a 4-man, maybe more of a 3. In junior college, he actually brought the ball up as a point guard, but you see how good he is around the basket. He's so tough, he's so hard-nosed, and he's upped his numbers. He's doubled his rebounds per game since a year ago, now at 8 boards a game, and went from 9 points to 12 points a game. So he has been a terrific spot here for this Boise State team.
Broncos have not had a field goal in nearly 3 minutes, but they have a 6-point advantage. They've been getting to the free throw line. Key jab against Antonio. Into the paint. Shot clock winding down. There's a rebound for Williams. Alston for 3. Nope. Blair has the rebound. Hardy. Oh, what a move. Can't get it to go, though. Did everything but finish there. And that'll be a jump ball, and the possession arrow will stay with UNLV.
Anytime you watch these out-of-bounds plays, always pay attention to who's inbounding the ball. That player is usually the most dangerous player on the inbound play, and oftentimes they're streaking to the corner or to the top of the key for a 3-point shot.
And look where Antonio is. He's a guy to keep an eye on in terms of inbounds play from distance. He can be a very dangerous player in that situation.
And he's likely going to streak to the ball side corner where Zhang is right now. Might be some interior screens for him on the baseline.
Coleman to trigger. They go into Tillman.
So much you can do in that 1-4 low. It's so hard to scout because you don't know what's coming. Look at that.
Spinning move from Tillman in the bucket. The former Utah Ute, 2 years with the Utes, has been in the doghouse this year, late to a couple team events, did not start 2 games, but he can be brilliant at times.
That's good back to the basket move. Then he faces up. He goes baseline, spins towards the middle, collects the foul, but he is a bruiser. You see how he plays with some physicality. And he's not just good in the low post, he's also great in the high post when teams are in zone defense.
It's a trap in the backcourt. And Williams trying to save it. Dennis has it.
Nice.
Backdoor feed to Alston, a beauty for the bucket.
And that is just knowing your teammates. Alston and Ray J. Dennis looking each other in the eye, deciding, hey, I'm going to backdoor cut here, deliver the basketball.
Alston has 11 to lead all scorers, and there's a turnover on the other end as Tillman gives up the basketball on the travel. 4 minutes to go here. Boise State, despite shooting just 41%, leading by 5. Big reason why, 8 UNLV turnovers.
Well, look at this backdoor play. Alston, great delivery, and Alston with a great catch and finish.
Boise State trying to bounce back after a loss to Nevada, 83-66 in their last game. That was Jazz Johnson scoring a career-high 34. It's been a different story against UNLV here. Though they trailed early, Broncos have set the tone of late, forcing 8 UNLV turnovers. But the Run Rebels are a team that's looking for their 4th straight in conference play and still very much in this, despite their woes on the offensive end.
Well, they're having a hard time getting buckets, and we knew that was going to be the case. This isn't a team that has a lot of skilled scorers, so they've got to be creative in the way they do it. And it's a bit of a conundrum because you want to play fast so you can get some easy buckets, but when you do that, you also give easy buckets away to the other team. They can't afford to do that.
Abu Kijab can't get that to go, but back to the free throw line for Boise State. They're 8 of 9. That's been a big story here. Not doing well from the field, but they're getting their opportunities to cash in.
That's why they're top 10 in the country. They find ways to get to the free throw line, whether it's by their penetration or their post-ups or just their grinded out style inside.
This is the 7th start for Kijab, a guy that really didn't have a chance to showcase his skills entirely in 2 years at Oregon, but really an impact guy, and you expect him to be an impact player at this Mountain West level.
Well, when you bring in players from a Power 5 conference, usually they're impact players right away. And you talk about some of the players redshirting for the squad right now. They have 2 Pac-12 players from Arizona that'll be in uniform for Boise State a year from now. Another one from East Tennessee State, another one from Portland. So good players all the way around.
And here's a former Pac-12 guy in Donnie Tillman. He gets the and one opportunity.
A Utah guy. So you see how much of a junkyard dog he is? The way he gets to the basket, the way he's able to finish. Look at this. Strength. He beat one player in Alston, and then Alston's the one that ends up fouling him for the and one. Tillman transferred from Utah, granted immediate eligibility.
They're going to get another opportunity off that miss here. Tillman, a guy that can carry them. He had 28 in their win against Fresno State this year. Shot clock is under 10. Hardy trying to create. Tillman for 3. Got it. He's capable of doing that. You just don't know what you're going to get day in, day out.
He's about 30% from behind the arc.
I mean, he had 18 against UCLA, 17 against Cal, the 28 and 8 against Fresno State. You can ride him for a little bit if he's shooting like that. Alston looked like he lost the handle, but he's fouled, and guess what? Back to the free throw line.
So he's able to get into the paint. And the bottom line is, if you can keep the ball out of the paint on defense, usually good things happen for you. But look, he's not in the paint, but he finds a way to drive middle. You can't let the offensive player with the basketball drive to the middle of the paint. If you're on the left side of the floor, don't let them drive right into the paint. If you're on the left side of the floor, don't let them, or right side of the floor. Don't let my right and left, Trey.
I can't figure out
right
my
side
right
or left side. Don't let them go the opposite way into the middle of the paint.
I hear you. It's Antonio's 3rd foul, by the way. He'll have to go to the bench, so that could be problematic for TJ Otzelberger.
Well, he's got that quick trigger, and he is a good three-point shooter. He definitely opens the floor up. They definitely missed him when he was injured.
How about Alston? 7 of 8 from the line. And despite their shooting woes from the field, they're up 3 here. Tillman runs over Alston. Offensive foul.
Wow. We might need to take a look at that. Obviously, the official had a good angle. I bet you he lowered his shoulder like we see so many times with player control fouls. See with his right shoulder, that's exactly what he did.
Displaced him, huh?
Yeah, he might have displaced him. I think Alston might have gotten an Academy Award there, too. Think so? He is pretty light on his feet, so maybe actually that little hit maybe did make him go flying. He's 190 pounds.
Here's Alston inside. Oh, my goodness. Jong with another rejection.
It's a 4 now? But you know what I respect about Boise State is that they keep going at him. A lot of teams are afraid of him. I saw, look at this, another help side rotation block. Gosh, you can see what he can do. Air Force on Saturday played at UNLV, and when Jong was in the game, it seemed like they were intimidated to go down inside to score. When he came out of the game, things were different.
Offensive foul called here. They tried to set a back screen there. They're going to be guilty of the foul. It's going the other way.
I mean, I really don't think UNLV is playing anywhere close to their potential, but yet it's just a 3-point game here at the end of the first.
And that back screen not legally set for the alley-oop. Here's Hardy, and there's an alley-oop on the other end to Zhang, and it's a 1-point game.
Let me show you how it's done. It's supposed to be like this.
It has been close throughout this first half, and UNLV playing with a lot of confidence here in a tough road environment. Alston lost the handle. Who's basketball? It's going the other way to UNLV. Boy, the Broncos are frustrated. They're one of their last 7 from the field, and then they turn it over.
Look at this. Amari Hardy draws in the defender. I think it was Williams that was guarding Zhang, and so he drew 2 defenders and it left a wide open Zhang. You got to expect anytime you're in a situation like that, they're going to try to lob it up inside to the big man, the 6'11" player from Senegal.
How about TJ Otzelberger? He recognized the personnel on this squad. Not a type of team like, you know, he was involved with those Iowa State teams that would launch threes, South Dakota State high-scoring teams. He doesn't have that kind of team here, but his team is battling, especially in Mountain West play, and they're doing the little things well.
He's sharp as a tack. He is detail-oriented. He took over a program with a completely different style, and he wants to get up and down. And so his players initially had committed to that. I don't think he has the personnel to do that. He's trying to change the culture of the program. He does want to score fast. He does want to score before defense is set. He also knows he's got to have great players that are in great shape to do that. But his whole idea of offense, ball movement, pass cut, move the ball from side to side, make the defense shift. But he doesn't have the players for that right now. He's got 2 guys redshirting that are going to help him next year.
He's got the big guy right here.
Yeah, he's got the big guy. He'll be back in as a senior. He's got 6 high school players committed and a junior college player committed. They're going to be awfully young here over the next couple years.
Well, remember, this is their first game away from home in 32 days. Playing tough here on the road. Here's Tillman inside. Can't get the banker to go. Blair the offensive rebound. They're active. They just appear to be the aggressor despite trailing in this one. It has been pretty, but that's their kind of play. That's the way they want to play.
I think that's come and gone between each team. Sometimes the aggressor is Boise State.
And there's a good play by Kijab. Going to the floor, and they force the shot clock violation. Now there's an answer. Yeah. Great defensive stand there from the Broncos.
I love it. I mean, look how far away the basketball is from the basket. I mean, you're talking 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's trying to make this little lob. They can't get it inside the 3. That's scrappy defense by this Boise State squad.
Final minute, first half. Looking for Alston. There's a quick hands from Tillman.
So even though the ball went out of bounds, you can appreciate that. Look at all the bench jumping up off, excited, giving him a high five, helping him up. Watch the hand deflection. See, that's perfect. If you can't get a steal, at least get a deflection on it. The guys at the end of the bench helping him up. Coach Otzelberger excited.
Well, he's one of those guys. He loves deflections, floor burns, all those kind of things. Those things, he got a lot of high fives for that play over there.
Absolutely. I guarantee you they track the 50-50 ball battles.
Jessup has been quiet, has not scored, has taken 2 shots, 0 for 2, 0 for 1 from distance. Here he is from long range. Got it! And that's the record. He's the Boise State all-time leader in 3-point field goal makes with 276. And you could sense the fans were awaiting that one, and he finally gets it.
He got a great round of applause. What a career Jessup has had here. And he still has a long way to go before the end of his senior year. Here it is right here. Comes off a screen, uses that left hand. That's a right foot, left foot pivot into the 3-point shot from the top of the key.
What a career he's had. He hit 93s his sophomore campaign. That was number 2 in Boise State history. He has knocked down 49 this season.
Well, the thing I love about Jessup, too, is he makes everyone around him better. I think he's a Player of the Year candidate. He's scoring 21 points a game in Mountain West Conference play, 15 overall. But you can talk about his offense all you want. He's aggressive in the basket. He can shoot threes, but he's a really good defender. He's excellent, probably the best all-around defender on the team. And if there's somebody they need to lock down, hey, Jessup, we need you to guard him because you'll shut him out.
He's going to get a challenge from Derrick Alston if you're talking Player of the Year candidacy from his own team.
2 on 1 team, not too bad, huh? Didn't we see that in Nevada a year ago?
Yeah, the Martin brothers.
Well, don't forget about Jordan Caroline either.
They were loaded. Yep. Final 20 seconds here, and the Broncos will hold for one. They'll try to take the lead into halftime at Extra Mile Arena. Ray J. Dennis, 5 seconds to work with for Alston against Coleman. Gets the high screen. 2 on the clock. Step back 3. Got it! Alston with 16 leading the Broncos, and they'll take a 5-point lead into halftime.
Look at that. The step back. Look, he stepped back like 3 feet to knock that down. A big-time player, big-time play. And that's how you want to end the first half. Go into the locker room with that momentum, with that excitement, with that encouragement and positivity, because UNLV have been knocking on the door over the last few minutes.
The Mountain West leading scorer with 16 to go with 6 rebounds, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and a strong finish after a slow start for Boise State here in the first half. 36-31. Broncos in front of the Runner Rebels. An entertaining first half here from Boise, Idaho. Halftime coming up. (36-31). Boise State trying to bounce back after a loss to Nevada. They lead UNLV, the Runner Rebels, 3-0 so far in this Mountain West Conference season. Well, broadcasting, it's important to stay hydrated. My partner here has an idea about how to get that done. I usually go for a bag of potato chips. What is this here?
This is a salt lick. It used to be potato chips. I mean, you have to hydrate all the time, so usually you eat potato chips so you don't have to use the restroom in the middle of the game. We're starting a new trend, broadcasters worldwide, the salt lick.
Yeah.
Going to make something happen here.
The only thing positive out of this was Coach Leon Rice was impressed with it. He said he actually could put it to good use here in Boise because deer run around his backyard, right?
He's got deer in his backyard, so I guess he wants to attract them with the salt lick. So
impressed.
maybe he wants you and I to attend.
Well, I like how you think outside of the box.
Start new trends, man.
But I'm perplexed. I'm a little bit perplexed.
Worldwide, broadcasters, you heard it here first.
36-31 as we try to stay hydrated, and a very entertaining first half. UNLV, especially at the outset, really kind of set the tone, but the Broncos had a nice response.
It's a game of runs, basketball. You know, some teams are going to play better in the beginning, and some teams are going to play better later, and it's just going to be the one team that outlasts the other till the end of the 40 minutes, and so that's what we're seeing here. It's a dogfight out there.
And Derrick Alston, I know it's too early to get into the Mountain West Player of the Year candidacy, but he's obviously one of the people you got to consider with the way he's playing.
No doubt. I mean, tonight he's looking like he could possibly get 30 points, so he's going to be a terrific player for the rest of the season and beyond. All
right, 5-point game at the break. We'll take a look at stats and highlights when we come back. The Broncos in front of the Runner Rebels by 5 at the break. The Broncos lead at home at halftime, 36-31 over UNLV, as Boise State looks for win number 11 and their third in the Mountain West Conference this season. Well, it was not pretty early on for the Broncos, but they really turned up their intensity, especially on the defensive end, forcing 10 UNLV turnovers.
That's the big key. They forced 10 turnovers, and they're doing what they do. We worried for UNLV in the fact that they get to the free throw line, and Boise State has taken 11 free throws at this point in time. They're playing gritty defense, and really they're just controlling the tempo of the game.
It was an early lead for UNLV, but then the Broncos turned up the screws defensively, trying to match that intensity, and UNLV had a tough time taking care of the basketball.
They did, and early on it was Boise State that was struggling taking care of the basketball. You know, and right here, UNLV turning the basketball over. On the other side, turning the basketball over, and then as we see here, Boise State started playing excellent, tough defense. UNLV trying to take it to the basket. R.J. Williams, though, I mean, he has been a bright spot for this Boise State squad. Look at him getting to the basket, not afraid to challenge Jong. And then here on the defensive end, stealing it from Jong, and on the offensive end, going right back at him again. And you can't say enough about the star of this Broncos team, Derrick Alston. 16 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 7 of 8 free throws, but he's doing it on the defensive end too. You see there, the backdoor cut, the hammer home, and the plays around the basket. Here's that last play going into halftime. That step-out three-point shot was a work of art.
And the Broncos also did their damage on the free throw line. Look at that advantage, getting to the stripe and cashing in.
UNLV, I mean, they're getting blocks, but they're turning the basketball over too much. I expect UNLV to take better care of the basketball here. But Boise State's going to just try to keep it, taking it at, especially Jong down inside the post on the offensive end.
Will the Runner Rebels have an answer, trying to keep their record perfect in conference play, but trailing by 5 on the road here in Boise? Moved to 8-1 on the home floor this season. A strong finish to the first half. They lead UNLV 36-31. Second half, right around the corner from Boise, Idaho. Five-point advantage for the home team as we get ready for the second half. Boise State has been tough to beat on this floor. Leon Rice, 80% win percentage at home. He's 116-29 in his career. 2 wins at home in Mountain West play already over Colorado State and Wyoming, and trying to make it 3 now as the Broncos have the basketball to open up this second half.
If I'm Boise State, I'm trying to find ways to get Kejab and Alston at the free throw line. They're responsible for all but 1 of the 13 Boise State free throws in the first half. Keep attacking. They're converting at the foul line, 11-13. UNLV, though, they've got to find a better way to take care of the basketball, not turn it over and give so many easy opportunities to Boise State.
Mari Hardy picking up the foul there. There's a missed assignment and an easy lay-in for George off the Jessup feed. Well, those are plays that you want back if you're TJ Otzelberger. Coleman for 3. There's an answer, though, from the wing.
Coleman just seems to be in the right place at the right time all the time. Makes plays for his team. Doesn't score a lot of points, but he just gets it done.
Las Vegas kid. George back to the basket. Has a size advantage here. It actually does not against Jong, but they're both about 6'11", and that's out of bounds. They'll keep the basketball.
It's a completely different style of player, though.
I guess he's got, what, 30 pounds on him.
Exactly.
In terms of girth down there.
I mean, Jong is longer, more athletic. George is more physical, more of a banger.
Kejab cut off by Blair. Shot clock at 3. Alston launches.
It's good defense by UNLV. Now see if you can convert on the other end.
Trying to make this a one-possession game. Hardy, free throw line jumper. Nope. Alston has the rebound. Look at him start to break at 6'9". That's where they think he can be a factor at the next level if he can handle the basketball and play some point, maybe.
Yeah, point guard, 2 guard.
Pretty good handles. Jumper on the way, got it. 18 now for Alston.
That kind of stuff makes him good for the next level. I mean, he's got a very soft touch. He's got an excellent jumper.
And there's a foul on Dennis, who gets the start in the second half, just like he did at the start of the game. Picks up his second personal.
And here's Alston. He played behind Chandler Hutchison his freshman year. Now, Chandler Hutchison playing for the Chicago Bulls, but look at the step back. End of the first half, we saw him step back and hit a long three-point shot. Here early in the second, step back, long mid-range shot.
UNLV has been patient on most of their offensive trips. Shot clock is down to 8. Coleman gets a Blair screen, rolls to the basket, and he's fouled with 3 on the shot clock. Kejab, the guilty party here. Actually, they'll get George instead. They get George.
Now watch this. Coleman, so quick and athletic, able to beat his defender off the floor. George is there having to help, and he gets called for the foul as a result. So the thing is that you're that secondary defender. You're relying on the perimeter players to keep their man in front. You don't want to be utilized to be the secondary defender, because oftentimes the offensive player has a full head of steam and you're in a position to foul.
Eight points now for Coleman. What a revelation he's been for this team since he has been a starter as we move into conference season. Dennis. Jessup, only 3 points on a 3-point field goal in that first half, has been held in check for the most part. George stripped. Coleman the other way. Antonio travels. Might have been better served just to shoot it there, right?
Maybe, but it was deep, and I think the defense was closing in on him, and that's why he shot faked. try to get the defense off their feet. It's a good play. I don't mind him doing that. I think it's great, but you got to keep that pivot foot.
John Antonio, obviously, his heart is heavy with what's happening on Australia with the fires. He started a GoFundMe to raise money to fight the fires down there. It's obviously on his mind right now.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Dennis in and out of there, and the rebound pulled down by Blair. Hardy for three. Oh, that would have been a big one. Out of bounds. It will go Boise State's way.
That's a heartbreaker because Antonio could have gathered that basketball. He didn't because he thought it was out of bounds on Boise State. Didn't agree with the call by the official. Now let's see here. In and out. And let's see. It looked like, yeah, I could see why Antonio thought it went off Alston's hand.
11 turnovers now for UNLV. That's been a big problem for them. Jessup for three. Got it. Adds to his total as the all-time three-point shooter at Boise State. He's hit a couple triples in this one.
You know, he's 19 three-pointers away from tying Jimmer Fredette's all-time Mountain West three-point record.
Antonio missing from deep. Key jab, had it, lost it, saves it.
Two guys on the floor. I love it. Love it.
George also got down there to keep it alive. And you got to match UNLV's intensity, and Boise State has done that here. Jessup again. Why not? He's hit three of them. Third team All Mountain West last year, All Conference candidate again this year. Antonio. Back iron. Rebound Hamilton. Blocking foul called on George. Fans don't like that call.
Fans don't like it, but it's a good call because George's feet were on that restricted arc line. Let's take a peek. I'm pretty sure his feet were on that restricted arc. That means automatically it's going to be a blocking foul. See? Look, yeah, he's got 1 foot in. Good call by the officials. And I think if people in the stands understood that rule, they wouldn't be booing right now.
George took a charge in that first half that went the other way, that benefited his team. Here's Hamilton. Can't connect. They're trying to end a 6-0 Boise State run here. No field goals in the last 3:10. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes. And he gets that one to go. A little pressure here.
I like it. After the free throw, look, great way to beat it.
Jessup to key jab, and he's fouled. Boy, you called that. That was textbook, how to beat the press.
Textbook, and then look at this. 4 white jerseys around the teammates sprinting to go pick him up off the floor. I love the teamwork and unity. This is beautiful. Jessup with almost back-to-back threes to add to that total of his all-time record here at Boise State.
Nine-point lead for the Broncos. Let's go to school on how to beat pressure in the backcourt.
This is textbook. Get the ball in the middle of the floor, and what's a lot of people call the tunnel. Alston takes it out, passes to Dennis. Dennis has 2 bodies around him, gives it back to the inbounder, who gives it right up the middle of the floor to Jessup, who dumps it down low for his teammate Kejab, who gets fouled on the way up. And that's outstanding. If you want to beat a zone press, get the ball in that middle third of the floor. A lot of people call it the tunnel. Some people call it the channel. There's all kinds of different names for it, but get the ball there because then the press breaks down. Boise State, great job by Leon Rice's squad.
Kejab. It's been effective in a lot of ways today, has 8 points. A rebound, has hit a 3. And more than anything, they count on him to be a vocal leader defensively. He can guard anywhere on the floor. And he gets 1 out of 2 to extend the lead to 10. UNLV no field goals in nearly 4 minutes of action here as we open up this second half. Tillman out to Coleman. Tillman a good look from 3. Rims out of there. Jessup the rebound. Broncos have a chance to get a little separation here, already up double digits. Alston, good dish to George, and he's fouled as Jong lands on top of him after the pump fake.
This is all predicated because Alston gets to the middle of the floor. Watch how he gets into the paint. That's bad for the defense. Now he gathered two defenders. He gathered Jong. And that left George wide open. Great pass. See, Jong's trying to guard the ball. George gets the ball, pump fake. You know the shot blocker's going to jump for it. Just a great all-around play. Get to the middle offensively, dump it down, shot fake, gather a foul.
Non-shooting foul, but the second on Jong here at the 15-24 mark. And it looks like TJ Otzelberger's going to make a move and bring his big man to the bench. Shekna Dembele, the junior, will come in, has seen limited action, averaging just 6 minutes per game, but they need him for a stretch here.
Well, he's a guy that screens a lot, looks to rebound. He seals hard with his backs to the basket, but he's not one to score points. So far this season anyway.
Jessup inside the arc with the miss. Tipped out front, Hamilton has it. UNLV in bad need of a bucket here. Hamilton attacking. Can't finish on the reverse, gets his own rebound. Stripped by Jessup. Broncos making all the plays right now, winning those 50-50 balls.
Well, that's oftentimes what separates good teams and great teams. The little things like that, winning the 50-50 balls, taking care of the basketball, that type of stuff.
Nice great play by Coleman. Picks the pocket of Kejap. Reversing direction. How about Coleman with the move for the bucket?
That was beautiful. He refused the ball screen, went back to his left hand, did a little in and out move and a reverse layup.
He leads UNLV now with 10 points. There's the weave. Alston attacking. Off the mark. George keeps it alive. Jessup. 4 triples after he rains in another one.
Oftentimes you're left wide open as a three-point shooter after an offensive rebound.
He was 7 for 11 from beyond the arc. 27 points against Colorado State in conference play. Here's Hamilton now against Jessup. Tough shot, and the lefty gets it to go.
Well, I think, he had a pair of fakes there. Those fakes give you an opportunity for a clean look because you're getting the defense jumping in the air or losing their defensive positioning.
Hamilton has 7 on 3 of 6 shooting. Back to single digits now. Both teams are going to go to their bench at the next opportunity. Here's Dennis, baseline drive. Alston from the corner. George can't keep it alive. It's UNLV's basketball.
Nice.
Good look for Coleman.
Oh, almost got an over-the-back call on Joni Antonio there.
Shots are not falling. 4 for 17 from 3 for UNLV. And that's out of bounds. It will stay with the Broncos.
Well, this is when you know you have good coaching. When your team gets great looks for shots. UNLV's players aren't knocking down a lot of shots right now, but they're getting good looks. So as TJ Otzelberger gets players that more fit his style of play, things are going to change for this program. I mean, they're already off to a good start in conference play, but I mean, those shots are going to knock down when he gets players that are more in tune with the style of play that he wants to employ.
One of those guys is David Jenkins, who played with him at South Dakota State. He'll be with him next year.
Was he a good player as a sophomore last year, like 20 points per game at South Dakota State?
Excellent shooter. 9-point game here. Boise State has really dictated some things here in the second half. It's been a different feel out there on the floor with the Broncos. More of a choppy style of play in the first half. That benefited UNLV. Hardy attacking. Wild shot there. Williams the rebound.
No, Hardy was so hot in the beginning of the first half. He has struggled here in the beginning of the second.
Good ball movement. Alston from the corner. Got it. Alston's second three-pointer. He has 21.
He's a big-time player. You know what? He might finish this game with 30.
Well, he's above his average now. 20 points per game with those 21. Tillman attacking against Rice. Misses with the left hand. They're missing some shots at point-blank range now.
Boise State looks stronger. They look more aggressive. They're dictating the tempo, winning the rebounds, getting to the free throw line. This is a big opportunity for Dembele.
Williams takes Dembele to the rim. Got his own rebound, but lost it out of bounds. Timeout. 12-point advantage for Boise State. Looking very good at home, where they have won a lot of games through the years under Coach Rice. The Broncos' all-time leader showcasing his skills from distance.
4 of 5 from behind the arc, and I think by season's end, he's going to be the Mountain West all-time leading three-point shooter. The lefty should be a Player of the Year candidate, in my opinion. 21 points a game in conference play, but you see he's able to catch and shoot those three-point shots. He's also able to come off screens for those three-point shots, and he's able to create them off the dribble, step backs, so he can shoot it in a litany of ways.
Did you ever think Jimmer Fredette's record would be broken?
Oh.
This guy has got his sights on it. He's number 4 in Mountain West history in three-point makes and has been sensational here in the second half. The lead is 12. UNLV, meanwhile, mired in a slump offensively. 2 for their last 11 from the field. Despite winning the points in the paint battle, they're trailing by a dozen. Tillman, and that's an offensive foul. Williams was there. Second foul on Tillman.
Well, Tillman is aggressive to the basket. You see how he's getting in there, but his elbow just goes right into the chest of the defender. Good call by the official.
All right, 13 turnovers for UNLV now. And that and the struggles from the outside have been the trouble for this team.
Well, little things by Alston, like just right there. Yeah, he threw it to R.J. Williams, who didn't quite have his man sealed, so it was almost a steal. But the fact that he was able to throw the ball in the post with his left hand, there's a lot of guards that can't do that. Now, he's a guard, but he's 6'9". A lot of undersized guards, normal-sized guards that can't do that.
Key jab gets the Williams screen. 3 on the shot clock. Alston's going to have to fire it up there. He's fouled, though.
Oh.
They bail him out. That's on Coleman.
That is a backbreaker for Coach Otzelberger and his team to foul at the end of a shot clock. You've played 29 seconds of great defense, and then you foul.
That's 3 on Coleman.
Who's been
at the very worst, you know, that shot is an off-balance thing that he's trying to get up near the rim.
Look at that.
Right into the hands of John.
Long arms.
Max Rice turns it over. 11 minutes to go, and UNLV is really struggling to find offense. 3-minute scoring drought now. Hamilton leaning in, and he'll get an opportunity on the free throw line. When the shot's not falling, that's not a bad option, getting Hamilton taking it to the rim.
I mean, yeah, just get to the rim. It's what I used to tell my players all the time. Look, if shots aren't falling, let's increase our confidence by trying to get into the paint, because if you don't make the layup, oftentimes you're going to get fouled. That's what we've seen Hamilton do. And this guy Hamilton, man, he has a knack for getting layups.
That was the 3rd foul on Hobbs, and the Broncos are going to go to the bench here. Jessup and Dennis come in for Alston and Rice.
This Bryce Hamilton, his brother played at Buffalo. Now he plays overseas. His dad played at UTEP under Hall of Fame coach Don Haskins.
The Bear.
Yeah, he's got cousins that played all over. He's got cousins that played at UCLA, UConn, Texas, and the NBA.
Here's full court pressure now in the backcourt. They beat it ahead to Hobbs. 2-on-1. He'll take it to the rim. Offensive foul. Tillman had position. He tried to take it himself, had a player on the other side of the basket.
This is a good press break. The trap was there. He threw it towards the middle of the floor. That's how they broke it again, middle of the floor. I'm kind of surprised Hobbs didn't try to dish this down to Tillman. Right there. Instead of that, come to a jump stop.
And that's his fourth. That's his fourth, Richie. He'll have to sit, and that's a key piece to the puzzle for Leon Rice. Guy that has been named 6th man of the year in his career, good ball handler. He'll have to sit now with 10:50 to go. Hardy for 3. Boy, they're just ice cold from the outside.
Yeah. And Hardy, as great a scorer he is, he's ice cold, just like you said.
4 for 18 from 3 for UNLV.
Again, if you're struggling from 3, find a way to whip that ball around, get some ball reversals, loosen the defense, and attack. Get into the paint and see what you can make happen.
Tillman against Kijak. Baseline step through. Left hand not there. Gets his own rebound. Nope. Tough break. Did his work on the glass. Out of bounds. It will stay with UNLV. They've gone almost 4 minutes without a field goal now.
They have to stop the bleeding at some point. 10 minutes to go is an eternity. Can easily break into this lead, but they got to make some plays.
Hamilton behind the back. What a move that was against Alston with the lay-in.
See, get to the basket, get to the rim. You're seeing a concerted effort at that right now.
11 for Hamilton to lead UNLV. It's an 8-point game. Jessup on the drive is fouled. Now they've got Dennis on the floor right now with Hobbs sitting with the 4. We've not seen a lot of Marcus Dickinson at that lead guard spot. So he was riding the bike prior to the game, so probably not 100%. So they don't have Hobbs. This could be a tough stretch for them without him on the floor.
Well, you got some other guys that can handle the ball. Jessup can handle the ball pretty good. Alston can handle the ball all right.
Entry to Williams, and he's fouled on the floor.
Yeah. Leon Rice's squad, 12 guys, 5 seniors. They have a pretty good balance. They did graduate a couple 6'10" players from a year ago. But you see here, and this is what Boise State does all the time, they streak somebody from the lane line that's where the ball is being taken out to the opposite block. And oftentimes, we saw it earlier, they got a wide open layup as a result.
We're going to have to keep a close eye on the fouls here, Richie. That's Tillman's 3rd. Coleman also has 3. We mentioned Hobbs has 4 for Boise State. Front end of the 1-and-1 missed by Williams. Still an 8-point game. Hamilton streaking inside. Nope. Wild shot there. Dennis stops his dribble. Baseline, it's Alston. Jessup leans into a 3 and he's fouled. They bailed him out. It didn't look like he was really set over there, but you got to respect his ability, obviously. And that is the 4th foul on Tillman.
That's a big blow. Tillman was trying to fight over the ball screen. R.J. Williams had set the screen, and Tillman was trying to fight over the ball screen because he needed somebody to contest Jessup's shot. So you got to respect the hustle. It's just unfortunate for the Running Rebels that he's picked up his 4th foul.
Boy, it's got to be comfortable for Leon Rice to see this guy on the line. Now 30-32 this season. 94% from the stripe coming in. One more free throw coming. Tillman checks out with those 4 fouls. Blair back on. Good looking stroke. UNLV 4 for 18 from 3, 1 for their last 8. They'll try a 3 here with Hamilton. Back iron. Alston has the rebound. Maintains control. This is a danger zone here for UNLV.
Really is. They've got to stop the bleeding. And Boise State, you know, if you're them, you just want to keep stepping on their throat, extend this lead as far as you can. But I mean, UNLV's battling. And like we always said, they're scrappy. They wanted to keep this game in the 60s. There's still a chance of that. But they're just struggling, really, from an offensive standpoint.
A shot up over the backboard from Alston. Antonio, their best outside shooter on the floor right now. He's got the basketball for UNLV.
Well, that's one of UNLV's weaknesses. They really don't have consistent three-point shooting. And they spread the floor, especially with the deeper three-pointer. It spreads the floor, but they're not great at finishing from behind the arc.
Here's Hardy trying to create with the shot clock down to 3. Spins against Dennis, and he's fouled. Dennis coming over the top there and bailing him out with the personal.
See, basketball is kind of like football in the sense that, you know, if you have a really good running back, you can't just give the ball to the running back every snap. Right?
Well,
but
you can if you've got Walter Payton back there.
Exactly. But if you have a normal team, you know, you have to pass the ball some to keep the defense honest. It's the same thing in basketball, because if you're just driving the ball all the time like a running back would just run, well, then they're just going to pack it in and just let you take outside three-point shots.
Oh, both free throws missed by Hardy. And they have really struggled. That was the third foul on Dennis, but the woes continue offensively for the Runner Rebels. Key jab against Hamilton. Dennis, floater, not there. Antonio has it. 8 minutes to go from Extra Mile Arena in Boise. Blair, a little runner in the lane, a good one from the senior from Las Vegas. And that snaps a streak of 4.5 minutes without a field goal. Good look for Dennis. Now it's 9. And UNLV trying to hang around here as we near the 7-minute mark. Hamilton drops it off underneath for Hardy. Good looking play there.
That's a great play. And again, getting into the paint was good for the offense.
Alston is fouled. Hamilton thought that was a strip. He gets whistled for the personal. Timeout. This one's still hanging in the balance. 7-point game, just over 7 minutes to go from Boise, Idaho. This one won't win a beauty contest from an offensive standpoint. Both teams shooting at 40%, but Boise State has hit 7 threes. They're up 7, and they've been forcing some turnovers. They're playing much better in the second half, where they're shooting 48%.
Yeah, and UNLV is only shooting 30% here in the second half. So one bright spot for UNLV right now is they are out rebounding Boise State, but they do have 13 turnovers, and that's leading to points on the other end. And the other thing is, too, is UNLV is absolutely dominating inside the paint. And they're getting second chance opportunities because they have 8 offensive rebounds, but they're just failing to shoot overall a good field goal percentage.
The free throw line has been a big story as you see Alston's numbers. He cashes in with a couple here. Now has 23. And the lead is back to 9. UNLV has won the battle points in the paint, plus 10 in that category, but their outside shooting woes have really hurt them. Hamilton driving in, not there. And Hobbs has it on the floor now with those 4 personal fouls. Alston attacking. Boy, what a game for number 21. He has 25 in this one.
He has a knack for getting into the paint, especially from the left side of the floor, using his right hand and finishing with contact. Great touch around the basket.
Couple times he's gone over 30 this year, 32 against Portland. Shot clock is under 10. Antonio's going to have to launch it. 2 on the clock. Pulls up from the baseline. Hamilton had it. Out of bounds to the Broncos. And Leon Rice likes the effort in front of that Boise State bench as we near the 6-minute mark.
UNLV bringing in 3 new offensive players. Got to keep them fresh. Got to find something that works. So this is when you go spaghetti, Trey. You take a handful of spaghetti, you throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
Just mix it up, huh? Well, he has really moved a lot of pieces into place. Trying to learn about his team. Hasn't played their best basketball here in Mountain West Conference play. How about a little pressure here in the backcourt?
Oh, they do such a good job of breaking the press.
Jessup to key jab. And a blocking foul is called.
Could have been where the footwork was.
And that's it for Tillman. That's his 5th.
Really? Well, where's Tillman's feet? Look at this press breaker, though. It's kind of the middle of the floor. Look at that. Passing from one side to the other. Yeah, Tillman, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Tillman is his feet on the line. Oh, actually, no. You know what it was? Tillman picked up his left foot before the contact.
And that will be it for the junior from Detroit, who has had an up and down season. at times sensational, one of the best players in the conference, other times not the case. Did not play against Air Force after he was late to the shoot-around. 8 points, 3 rebounds in this one, and his night is done.
Was the Pac-12 Sixth Man of the Year a season ago. Got immediate eligibility by the NCAA. Came home to take care of his mother. Battles epilepsy, has seizures. And like you said, inconsistent, but a talented player nonetheless. And I think you hope when guys come into a league, it's kind of like a junior college player. They come into a new league, they play a new style of play, they play the Division I speed of the game. Now, he doesn't have that issue because he played at Utah, but a whole different league and a different way of playing. Oftentimes, their better year is that second year that you have them, not that junior year.
How about the free throw numbers for Boise State now? 19 of 23, 83% from the stripe in this one.
What I love about Derrick Alston, too, is he is commanding his team on the defensive end, cheering them on, getting them fired up for the possession. He's not just an offensive player.
Hamilton, boy, they needed that one badly. He has 13 to lead the way for the Run Rebels. Trying to keep it close here for a stretch run, but just over 5 minutes to go. This was a game the Broncos badly wanted after losing to Nevada in their last game. Trying to get to 3-2 in conference play. And that's 4 fouls now on Hamilton. So UNLV in all kinds of trouble in the foul category.
Well, UNLV's got to weather this storm. Their last 4 games, UNLV has won. And we talked about it in the open. They've won them all by double digits. And they've done a good job of letting their defense dictate the tempo of the game. But in tonight's game, the defense isn't bad. I mean, the game, 62 points with 5.5 minutes to go. That's not bad. It's just that the offense has been a struggle. And we've talked to Coach Otzelberger about that. He says, we got to find a way to get boys to get buckets. We struggle to score the basketball.
They've done some things well. Number 1 in the Mountain West in offensive rebounds. Number 2 in overall rebounding. It helps having the big guy Zhang in the middle.
Yeah, it does. I mean, 9-10 rebounds a game from him. But, shooting is a lot of it. I mean, they're a 31% three-point shooting team. I've always measured three-pointers by if you're a 33% shooter or shooting team, you're average. Anything above 33 is a little bit above average. Now they're 31.
Hardy follows his own shot, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
So you've seen a lot of heart there, though. And Hardy follows his own shot, as you said, takes a dribble, collects the foul. So now he gets 2 free throws. So I think the name of the game for Utah is keep grinding away, keep pushing the basketball, keep trying to get it inside the paint. And if you can hit a three-pointer along the way, great. But you got to really grind it out on defense and make your points on the other end.
Hardy now has 9. George picking up his 3rd foul there as he fouled Hardy, as Hobbs will come in for key jab, and we've got a timeout. 12-point game, making an 11-point game after the free throw with 5:06 to go. Boise State trying to hang on here and get their 3rd Mountain West Conference victory at home, up 11. Broncos lead by 11 with 5:06 to go. It's been the Derrick Alston Show, the Mountain West leading scorer, leading the way for Boise State in this one with 25. He has done it in a variety of ways, the inside game, the outside game. Is he the player of the year? I'm going to put you on the spot. Early season Mountain West.
That's a tough question. I always try to vote for the player of the year who's on one of the top 2 teams. So if Boise State can be one of the top 2 or 3 teams, unless the numbers are just astronomical, it's hard to get that award.
Well, Malachi Flynn's going to get some votes, obviously. The point guard for San Diego State, who looks like they'll be perfect after they knock off Wyoming tonight. And that's the Broncos' next assignment. They'll be in San Diego Saturday at Viejas Arena. That'll be a tough test.
I think it was when Kawhi Leonard was on the team in 2010-11. I think they started out 20-0. And so there's been a lot of talk for a long time. Can they match that 2010-11 team? Well, are they 3-4 games away now?
Boy, Brian Dutcher doing a great job down there. And they can shoot the basketball. It's not just about their defense.
Oh, yeah, they can shoot it. I went and watched them practice about 2 months ago. That was Not another one. You got to be kidding me.
Alston almost had his 28th point there, missing from deep.
I told Coach Dutcher when I watched Aztecs practice, I said, this is the most complete team I've seen you have. Even when, over the last few years, even when Coach Fisher was coaching, I just thought they were so complete, so much better than they were a year ago. I didn't see any holes in their offense or defense. They're deep, loaded. They could do a lot of things.
George goes to the floor. They play on. No foul called. A tie-up. And the possession arrow will stay with UNLV. Jong missed one at point-blank range.
Yeah.
They got the offensive rebound to reset things.
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's frustrated with himself. And sometimes, I mean, he's so long and athletic, you'd like to see him just punch that home. It's the more efficient shot.
Just hammer it down, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes I think he was trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly because the defense was closing in on him.
6 on the shot clock. Entry to Hamilton. Trying to muscle one up there. Key jab with the block. Good defensive play.
You know, when you and I were young, the dunk was like flashy. Don't dunk,
maybe
just
for
lay it
you
up.
It was. I never got near the rim.
That's a good point. Nerf hoops, okay?
That was a step back
Nerf
shooter.
Hoops.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's such a routine, normal part of basketball.
George missing from short distance there.
And for many players, a dunk is the most efficient shot in the repertoire.
And there's a finger roll for Coleman, and all of a sudden it's an 8-point game.
About that. And the press is going. Oh,
they get the steal. Oh. Hamilton. That would have made it 5, and a foul on the floor. It's going to be on Boise State.
Is it on George? No. It's on number 10. Ray J. Dennis.
And that's his 4th with 3:44 to go. UNLV will not go away. A scrappy effort for the visitors within 8. UNLV is within 8 here with 3:45 to go. And their walk-ons have stepped up. Blair and Coleman combining for 18 points. And they've done the little things well that Coach Otzelberger has been impressed with. They played much better since those two have spent more time on the floor.
Well, you know, a lot of times when you have players like those two who were walk-ons a year ago, they're a little more hungry. You know, they're trying to fight for that scholarship. They both got their scholarship. Coleman, local from Las Vegas, earned his scholarship. Blair, on the other hand, he was a scholarship player at Idaho from what I understand, but wasn't able to be on scholarship. Maybe there wasn't enough scholarships at the time or whatever the situation was, but he certainly earned one now. And two players who have gone from walk-on to starter in a year's time.
Big free throw from Jong there, hitting the front end of the 1-and-1, a 64% free throw shooter. Looked like Boise State was going to run away and hide, leading by double digits. Here comes UNLV now. Chance to get this to a 2-possession game right here. 6-point game, 3:44 to go.
Most surprising stat of the day, it's only 6 points for Jong, and not only that, he only has 3 rebounds.
Jessup trapped in the backcourt. They beat it again. They've done great against that pressure. Key jab. Williams, and he's fouled. UNLV keeps going back to the pressure, and it has not bothered the Broncos tonight.
So the fast break is always effective because it's the unknown. As a defensive team, you don't know what's coming. As an offensive player, you don't know what's coming. But look at the dish down here. And what I'm most impressed about is Boise State has had absolutely zero fear in going to attack Jong, who I think is an excellent shot blocker and a shot deflector. And they just keep going at him. They're not afraid of him. And they're very effective as a result. Look, they're getting to the free throw line at a very high rate. That's 26 free throws they've taken already.
Williams only a 63% shooter. That was the 4th on Antonio. Some more concerns for UNLV with who's going to be on the floor the last 3 minutes plus here. Williams in and out on that one. Key jab gets the offensive rebound in the corner. And he gets a timeout call. Great effort from Key jab as they keep the possession.
I love how Coach Leon Rice's demeanor is. You follow the tone of your leader. He missed both free throws. Coach Leon Rice's face never flinched. He stayed in that crouch position, and he just kept the same facial expression. When Key jab hustled that ball down and called timeout, he came on the floor, Coach Leon Rice, and gave him a chest bump. And that's when he showed excitement. He's not going to get all bent out of shape when you miss a shot, or unless it's lack of hustle, unless it's lack of effort. Coach Leon Rice keeps it cool and collective at all times, and I think that inserts confidence into his players. Oh, look at this. Give me some. But now he's got to go wash that shirt because it's all sweaty.
How about this guy, a model of consistency, though? Prior to last year, they only won 13 games a year ago. They had gone 20 wins or more for 6 consecutive seasons, including that NCAA season where they won a share of the Mountain West title. He's Mountain West Coach of the Year in 14 and 15. They have really been consistent, solidly one of the top teams in the Mountain West through the years under Rice.
In the Leon Rice era, prior to last year, they were one of the only teams that were always in the top 3 in the Mountain West. And they finished higher than what they've been picked in 7 of the last 9 years. They're picked 5th this year.
Jessup almost turned it over there. They attack now with Williams, and he converts. Sean was out there pressuring the ball, and they had nobody underneath the bucket.
I think they do that by design. They set ball screens with the guy that Zhang's guarding, gets him outside, and then they can attack in the paint without worrying about him.
And there's Kijab getting his hand on that one with 3:03 to go. Kind of like the activity defensively for both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, I'm liking how I see. I mean, Boise State's been doing it for just about the whole game, but UNLV has ramped it back up here as of late.
Every possession critical now for the Runner Rebels. Hardy. Inside Hamilton, the defender fell down, and he gets the bucket as Kijab goes to the court. Here's that pressure
Watch
again.
The middle. Watch the middle. Oh, good. They did a good job of taking away the middle that time.
Get it ahead to Dennis. They'll try to burn a little time here with 2.5 to play.
Now's the point. UNLV cannot allow Boise State to burn too much time at this point.
Williams against Zhang. Wild shot, not there. Follow won't go. Third time, not there. He gets another one. No. Jessup, the offensive rebound, and the timeout call. What an effort on the glass from the Broncos.
Look at the coaching staff. Coach Burns, assistant coach, following on the floor, giving him all kinds of credit for his effort. If he can't get it on the first, here's the first effort, right? Missed it, second effort, missed it, third effort, missed it, keeps going at it. A fourth effort, he still missed it, but his teammates gets a piece of the ball, calls timeout. It's still Boise State basketball with 20 seconds left in the shot clock.
You know, you've got to match the intensity of UNLV. They're not an easy out in this Mountain West season, but Boise State has shown they've got that in their system too.
Well, they got heart, and they have 5 seniors. And Jessup's the one that called that timeout there. Williams, the one that had all those efforts, another one of those 5 seniors. So, I mean, he's a tough, hard-nosed player. You just can't say enough good things about R.J. Williams and the effort that he plays with. Like I said earlier, he is a matchup nightmare for people because he's used to playing more of a 3-4, sometimes out in the perimeter. Like I said, in junior college, he was a point guard at times.
Wow.
So guys guarding him at that size have a hard time because he's so big and strong. And then a big man has a hard time guarding him because he can take it out. And he's so physical. It's a different style of play.
Kijab, the vocal leader, showing some emotion there in the huddle. You know, Williams is almost averaging a double-double. And then you've got Kijab with the energy he brings. They've got a nice group of different pieces here that can help them in a variety of ways.
And what I love about R.J. Williams is at this present time, Leon Rice has him coming off the bench. I mean, like you said, he almost averages a double-double. He is a beast. A guy like that coming off the bench to inject into the lineup, that's terrific.
20 on the shot clock after they get the timeout. Jessup enters it into Williams, and he finishes. How about that for a possession for the Broncos?
It's their favorite play out of bounds. They keep going to it, and it keeps being effective. Why change?
Williams has 11. No time to waste for UNLV. Hamilton floater. No. Williams another rebound. 2 minutes to go. And now you can take your foot off the pedal a little bit and use some clock.
Use some clock if you're Boise State, but when you get to about 10 seconds, you've got to attack. You can't just be relaxed till the end of the shot clock. You've got to try to continue scoring.
Dennis, the freshman from Illinois, backup point to Dickinson, who's seen limited action here tonight. Williams, 2 on the clock. They don't get the shot off.
Well, it's a good defensive possession by UNLV, but unfortunately it took 30 seconds off the clock, and they're down 8. So what they're going to look to do here is, I guarantee you, they're going to look to score quick. And it's got to be an efficient shot, though. You can't just take a bad shot for the sake of trying to score. Get an efficient shot as quick as you can and then put on the press.
He's 4 for 21 from 3 in this one. Antonio from the outside. Rebound Hamilton. He attacks. Not there. Gets his own rebound. Blocked by Kejab. Antonio again got that one. A big shot to draw him within 5 with 1:09 to go.
That's good. That's a timeout. That still leaves UNLV with 1 timeout left. Boise still has 1 timeout left. So the ball's bouncing around. It's just a great shot. I mean, look at this. It's a missed three-point shot. And 2 shots around the basket, and the ball gets batted out, and they find Antonio is exactly the guy they needed to find. And so now with 30 seconds on the clock, with each team with a timeout, now you expect to see UNLV try to pick up a press. Now, will it be the same press that they've been running most of the second half? I'm not convinced it will be, because Boise State's done such a good job of breaking the press, but at some point they have to start thinking about fouling. I don't think that's already, though, to be honest with you. 30 seconds goes by right now. You still have 39 seconds left. But it's just important for UNLV to maybe take a chance to try to get a steal, maybe expect to see a trap. But if they don't get one, it's important that they get all 5 guys back into the paint and then spray out to their man so they can prevent Boise State from getting a quick shot.
Antonio and Hamilton each with fouls. By the way, Hamilton missed his first 7 threes prior to hitting that one. A big three-pointer with 1:09 to go. Here's that pressure.
Comes the trap. There's the trap. Okay, now you didn't get anything out of it. Pull it back. Don't let Boise State get an easy layup.
20 on the shot clock. Jessup against Jong, not looking to drive it.
No silly fouls here if you're UNLV, but if I'm Boise State, I'm looking to score in the paint right now.
Jessup for 3, and he puts a dagger into UNLV with that triple, his 5th of the game. Hardy, Coleman in and out. Alston has the rebound. Justinian Jessup in the second half, lights out. And they're going to try to bring this one home with 24.5 to play.
He's a big-time player, isn't he? Jessup, they got a lot of big-time players on this Boise State team. It's the stare-down 3. Zhang, the longest player on the court. Hands down, shoot the 3-point shot in his face. If Zhang has his hands out just at waist level, he can't get that shot off cleanly, but he has his hands down, and that's because Zhang's not used to guarding perimeter players, used to guarding guys inside the paint.
The Boise State all-time leader in career makes from 3, Justinian Jessup, with a huge second half. Alston has been sensational throughout, now 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and the 2 stars have stepped up. In a game they really did not want to lose. You don't want to go to 2 and 3 in the Mountain West. You protect the home floor and hand UNLV their first loss in conference play, it appears here, with the clock winding down.
It's early, but I think you have 2 Mountain West Player of the Year candidates in Justinian Jessup and Derrick Alston. And then add Kejab to the mix. I think you have at least 3 all-conference players on this Boise State squad.
Here's Coleman. Hamilton with no time to waste, going to drive it to the rim, and it rolls off. He is fouled, though.
So you want to try to score as many points as you can with a clock stop. So get you 2 free throws here. Cut it to 7. Set up the press. It's a nice drive down the middle of the floor. And, you know, foul called there.
You're going to give George his 4th.
Yeah, but you got to love the hustle on Kejab. He got beat off the dribble, but he continued to pursue the ball. It was Kejab that was called for the foul, right?
Oh, they got George.
They did get George. I see what you're saying. Okay, George got it. But if you get, I mean, any young player should understand, if you get beat off the dribble, don't give up on the play. Turn around and try to go get that basketball. You never know what the ball handler is going to be able to do.
Kejab goes to the bench with 12 points. Hamilton gets 1 out of 2. And Broncos just trying to take care of the basketball now.
Oh,
ahead to George.
Just hold it.
And he's fouled by Antonio, who is fouled out with 14 seconds to go. Oh, you got to tip your cap to UNLV. They looked like they were going to get run out of here in the second half, down double digits. They had a run in them to make it interesting. And again, it's never going to be an easy out against these guys, and that's a credit to this guy. the effort he brings.
It's just not their makeup. It's not Coach Otzelberger's makeup. No matter how undermanned you might be, no matter how bad you're struggling to score the basketball, it's not in their makeup to give up. They're going to try to continue finding ways to score. Think about this, though. If UNLV had just made 2 or 3 three-point shots, the complexion of this game is completely different. The defense will play differently. You'll have more confidence as an offensive team. And credit Boise State for doing a great job of contesting those three-point shots.
George goes out to a big hand. How about Alston, though? No answer for him. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 10 of 12 from the free throw line. Hamilton, the final seconds here, launches a three and got it. He has 19. Too little, too late, it appears.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a steal. Oh. Coleman, that almost goes. And they're going to say that was over the backboard and out of bounds.
It's a great horse shot.
That's
Hey,
a Larry Bird
made
touch.
it. Yeah, Larry Bird made that. When did they outlaw that? I mean, it almost dropped.
And that'll do it. They get it into key jab. Boise State 73-66 winners as they continue to be impressive at home. 8-1 on this floor this season.
Boise State's good. They've got players. They've got some great veteran leaders, juniors and especially seniors. I mean, this is a squad in Boise State that, yeah, they got off to a 500 start, 2-2 in league, but I really think they have a chance to be one of the teams down the stretch in the Mountain West Conference. Preseason picked 5th, and most years Leon Rice's teams finish better than what they're selected.
26 for Alston, 12 for Key Jab, 11 for Williams. How about Jessup with 18? 5 of 6 from beyond the arc for Justinian Jessup.
I tell you, he should be a Player of the Year candidate. He really should. He's 21 a game in conference play. He's a knockdown shooter in every different way possible. He's going to be the best shooter in Mountain West Conference history from behind the arc. And without his shooting ability, there's no balance on the floor. I mean, he is a terrific shooter. They've got guys that can drive. They got guys that can shoot it, but they got guys that can drive. They got guys that can post. His three-point ability makes him so much more dangerous on the offensive end of the floor.
73-66. Hamilton with 19 to lead UNLV. They lose their first game in Mountain West Conference play. They're now 3-1. Boise State improves to 3-2. The Broncos will have a big test at San Diego State on Saturday in their next game. Thanks to Richie Schuler, our entire ESPN crew, saying good night from Boise State. All games airing on ESPN and the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night from Boise, Idaho.